Hello. It's us. Standing room onlys.
We're back.
Yes.
And we have a special guest. Clap for him.
Great. Dude, they're such good guys.
Yeah, they're the best.
Hey, an audience.
His name's ZP. Spelled Z-E-E-E-E-E-E. But yeah, well, we're back again, and we talk about usually we get to say the Red Sox are 500 again, but they're bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yep, it's been worse.
But today we're going to talk Red Sox and Yankees coming up this weekend.
First series of the year.
Yeah, which is crazy to think that.
In June.
Yeah, like
I was also thinking that.
wild.
We were going to the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this really the first time they're meeting up this season? That's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, wild to
I'm
think
excited
of.
for it.
So strange. I can't wait. Hopefully, we're seeing Garrett Crochet's game, so I'm.
I know.
Last
I'm
time
That's
also-
like the only time I'm actually
very
okay,
excited
cool.
for that.
I saw Chris Sale pitch once, and it was awesome. He pitched
Right.
a fucking gem, and it
Of
was
course.
like, oh, dude, this is great.
This is an ace.
And then I went to see them a bunch of times since then.
I saw DeGrom pitch
That's
in a City Series game. The Mets were playing the Yankees at
Oh, yeah.
Yankee
That's really
Stadium. Yeah, it was Severino versus DeGrom, and DeGrom.
He
dominated.
Dude, he was
DeGrom
so good, dude. It
I
was like-
bet.
so I love me a good pitching matchup, and I'm excited to see Crochet, dude. He's been stellar this year. So
Yeah.
Yeah, nasty.
I mean, it's gonna suck. Like, I think I said this earlier, but he's gonna smoke us, and it's gonna be like, oh damn. I want to go see the Yankees win.
And then we'll lose 1-0.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
It'll
you
be
guys will
great
strike
pitching.
out 14 times,
Yeah,
but,
but-
Aaron Judge will hit a home run. So no, we'll be there. So
Yeah, Trent.
Giancarlo
Johnny,
Stanton
yeah.
still play?
He's on the 60-day DIL.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What?
he
Oh,
said
man.
that.
Sorry.
Wild.
IL.
I know.
Damn,
IL now.
what?
Probably because he runs so fast.
Yeah, he's extremely. Yeah, he's got the speed.
He hit Stantoni and Black. What did I do wrong?
What did I do wrong?
That guy sucks.
You mean Giancarlo sucks?
Well,
I think he
not-
meant John Sterling.
Oh,
Giancarlo
okay.
Sterling.
All right.
I mean, yes. To answer
Well, no,
your
I was gonna
question,
say like because he was really like the catalyst for us getting to the World Series last year. He was
He's
so
really
good.
good in the playoffs.
He was so
Yeah,
good.
He was really good.
And Judge is not.
No, he's
just-
Peyton Manning.
Let's say
Yeah.
that,
We're
dude.
gonna talk about
He's
that.
not. He just
Yeah.
shuts off when it's playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is brutal.
Regular
Shuts
season,
off.
best player.
He's dreaming of that big glove, so he won't drop balls.
Yeah, that's
Oh
all.
my
That's
God.
torpedo glove, dude.
That was wild last year. I knew everything was gonna implode after that.
Oh yeah, it was like the writing was on the wall.
Yep.
I kind of had a feeling. I don't know why. Like when that happened, I was like, he might drop this one. Just something felt weird, and
Yep.
it just did. And I was like, never,
I think it's just because their defense was so shaky, and it was just like you knew at any point in time that could happen,
But
and
didn't-
it was
didn't-
just a buildup of waiting for it to happen, and it just finally did.
Yeah. Well, didn't like Volpe like have like a pretty bad defensive series, or did he just have a?
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Didn't he like make like one big mistake? I think it was Volpe.
I feel like
I
there
don't
was like
remember
after.
I don't really remember.
I feel like
remember
after
him not
Judge.
being very great at the plate, but I feel like he's a great defender.
Oh yeah, very good.
He's really good. I
I
don't
s-
remember him being bad.
I think I got mixed up with there was a game. It was the final game before the All-Star game. He made an error, and after Ben Rice gave the Yankees the lead against Baltimore,
Okay.
and he made an error, and then I think it was a walk-off one by Mullins or something like that. I don't remember, but he did make an error in that game that cost them the game. That's what I got mixed up with. It's weird to get that game mixed up with the World Series game, though.
Yeah, you know, you never know.
Just mistakes,
Yeah, you know.
I got him confused.
But enough talking Yankees. For
Oh
now.
yeah. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot of great stuff to talk about the Red Sox. Since last we did an episode, the Red Sox have played 8 games and they've won 2. 2-6 record, overall record of 29-33.
Killing it.
Yeah, but like, how many games were by one run? That counts.
Oh yeah, overall this season I think it's up to 16 games.
16.
How many have we won?
16.
How many have they won?
Of those, 16. None of those, correct, right?
No, I think,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we're like 5-16.
We won 5 one-run games.
I think so.
Oh.
Just to have 21
4 or 5.
one-run games like in a season this early is pretty nuts, and to be 4th
Yeah,
in the
that's a-
division.
They like to
That's
keep
a
it
third
close.
of the
Let's
year.
say that.
Yeah.
They like to keep it close.
They do. Even when they have games where they're like, we're down 6-0, they're like, we have to lose by 1. We can't have a 6-0 loss.
I just pointed at Rob. There's this video on the Red Sox Facebook, so I can read great comments later. Romy puts us within 1. That was the last one from that game.
Yeah. Always within 1.
It's getting close. Turn on the game.
It's like
Game's over now.
It happened, and then we gave up a home run to Joe Adele, the second one of the game.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, I said to Matt, I was like, at least we're going to lose by 2 now. And then it was like Rafaela just hit the home run, and it was like, come on, man.
This is like a joke at this point.
Yeah, it
I've
really
never
is.
seen anything like this. Like, it's like purposely to lose by 1.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I've never, like you said, to have this many this early in the season, but to just have this many in a season in general is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, we're 21 one-run games.
Yeah. And it's like... And,
And
when you play them...
games of 3-run homers, that's what I think.
Yeah, and we just know in those one-run games, like, they're going to lose. Like, there's no... You don't know what's going to happen, but you know something is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we take the lead in some of those games, and you're just like...
Yep.
Nope.
They're like, oh, Greg Weiss has been doing well, and you're like, that's not good. And then you just...
I wanna see how many, like, shutdown innings we've had and how many chances we've had to have them. Because I feel like in those games where we lose by 1 run, we have a lot of time where we just, like, we'll tack on a couple runs, and then the very next inning, we give up a 3-run homer, and we're down 1 again. And it's just like, you know, how many times can you do that?
Yeah. It's like they're like the whole team is just, it just doesn't make much sense because like the pitching, I think CPU said earlier that they're 9th best bullpen wise, 9th best in baseball.
Yeah, 9th. They have the 9th best ERA in baseball.
And then you'll think like, oh, they're good. And then it's like we were talking about a couple episodes ago. I was like, at the time, if I were to tell you
Whitlock was good.
Yeah, Whitlock was good. Yeah, it's like this team, nothing makes sense. Like when we were talking, I was like, if I were to tell you that they have Alex Bregman, who's runner-up in MVP right now. They have Christian Campbell at the time was probably the favorite for the Rookie of the Year. You have probably one of the best relievers in baseball in Chapman, and Rafael Devers he raises his average. If I were to tell you that, you'd be like, oh, the Sox are pretty good, huh? Oh, and Crochet is an ace.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You'd be like, Sox pretty good, huh? And at the time, we were like 5 games under 500, and I'm like, no, we're not good. Somehow we have all that individual good things about the team that you can look up to, but as a team, they're just not.
Well, let's talk about the bad. Yeah. I mean, they strike out 15 or 16 times a game.
It's that new hitting approach, dude. They got grifted by these fucking nerds.
Yeah, that's because statistically,
baseball has.
Yeah, it's true.
But their whole thing, especially at Fenway Park, is if you lift the ball in the air and you drive it to left field, you're gonna hit the wall. The problem is, these guys made it to where they are in their career by being baseball players, not by coming up to the plate and thinking to themselves, I have to lift the ball in the air here. Yeah, sometimes you have to do that. Okay, you're trying to drive in a run from third base with 1 out or something, you know. You're sacrificing your at-bat for that. That's what you're doing. We're looking to do that every single at-bat.
Yeah.
Like, we are looking to what you would consider sacrificing your at-bat. That's what we're trying to do every time we come to the plate. Well, let's just hit the ball in the air. Well, you know, you can hit it to somebody in the outfield or someone in the infield.
Yeah.
Not every single ball you hit in the air is going to go over the fence.
Yeah, and it's like, speaking of like that and tying into the 1-run losses that they've had, like they're literally like a lot of those games, if you watch them, they have had so many opportunities with guys in second and third where if they have one more hit, they likely win that game.
Yeah.
They're 2 runs away from being one of the most talked about and best teams in baseball.
Yep.
Whether realistically, most of the time, 1 hit away from being that team, and they can't do it.
They've been 1 hit away countless times.
It happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Carlos Narvaez had the bases loaded, and he popped out to third. You know, you're just like, and Narvaez is a good player, but it just sucks.
Right, but that's the thing is like you're not always. Baseball is a sport where when you're considered a good player, you're getting a hit 3 out of 10 times. Like you're gonna get out more often than not. Like you can't always rely on what are considered the best players on the team to get you hits, and it seems like that's what we come to. You know, Narvaez has been playing out of his mind, but he's still a rookie.
Yeah.
Like, and we're hoping that he gets a hit because he's one of the best players on the team right now. It's like, if it's not Rafael Devers, Jarren Duran, you know, or Narvaez right now, you're like looking at it like it's an out. We don't have Bregman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bregman. I mean, he was the most consistent player in the lineup. I mean, Devers is becoming that now, but, you know.
Don't mess with the guy. That's my DH.
Yeah, exactly. but like Bregman
Go
was
pitch,
killing
boss.
it all year long, and
Yeah.
now look at it. Campbell to first.
Yeah.
They're trying to get Campbell to first, Meyer to second, Marcelo Meyer to second,
Yep.
and they want Devers to go back in the field to play third.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then you look at it, like I somewhat get it. I somewhat get it, but like Marcelo Meyer had a great play at third base the other night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like great play.
Diving catch. Yeah. It's really nice.
Abraham Toro looked great at third base yesterday.
That's what I was gonna.
But the problem with that though is that he had a great after the first inning because the first play that was hit to
Yes.
him should have at least been an out, and that's it was an error obviously.
Right.
And that led to a 3-run home run by Mike Trout in the very next
yeah.
at bat. So had you just made the play, like had you had a Marcelo Meyer there,
Yeah.
who's been pretty good defensively at third base for a kid that's not his natural position. I think he would have made that play. You at least would have got one run, and who knows how the game would have went at that point. If you start the second inning down 5-0, as opposed to 6-0, Fitz is out, Dobbins comes in and pitches
Fitz
a
was
gem.
horrible
Yeah, he was
yesterday.
terrible. But I blame that. I think about it. I blame it on the Red Sox. I give the guy one fucking rehab start after the injury, and he pitched like 40 pitches, and they're like, all right, you come back. Now you're solidifying the bullpen now.
Dave
Sorry,
O'Brien
the
was
start
even-
rotation.
He was even saying it on the broadcast. He was like, if you kind of look at it, he only pitched 3 innings his last start, and then this start he was gone in 1. He threw 39 pitches in 1 inning, gave up 6 runs, and was gone. And Dave O'Brien said in the first inning, I think they had 1 out, and he goes, "This is basically another rehab start," and it's like they have him pitching in the majors.
Yeah.
Like that's a rehab start.
This is like this is what takes me out of it sometimes with this team is that the off season it was like we're not like they alluded to not being like the Tampa Bay North team. They alluded to like we're spending money, we're here to win games, and
Good
there's still
teams don't do that.
And good teams don't, for one, bring a guy back from rehab too soon, and 2, have him learn on the job in the major leagues. You at least have some kind of development system in the minors that can, if you do plan on having them do that, you give them the time to learn, or at least be a little seasoned coming into that. You have Richard Fitz comes up when you have Cooper Criswell in AAA. It's not very great, but he's a starter and he's been starting all season. His ERA is like 1.9 in AAA.
Well, let's talk
Why
about
not have him?
We traded Quinn Priester away.
Yeah.
Like, they thought their starting was so solidified that they didn't even need him, didn't want to put him in AAA. I don't know if he didn't have options or something, but I mean, we dished him off for nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, we have trouble right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it also doesn't help that our manager won't let anybody go 3 times around in the
Yeah.
lineup. Like, Crochet started the other night, and I was surprised to see him coming out after he was at like 90 pitches. I was like, oh, he's done.
Yeah. I think that Core. I listened to there was an Alex Core interview earlier today, and I think he alluded to that they are going to let the starters, particularly Crochet, they're not going to do like an 80 unless they have to, but they're not going to do like that. They're going to let him pitch. It's probably not going to be 112 every game, but it's going to be more than 85 at this point.
Right, and it should be.
Yeah, it should be every time. He's your ace.
He's your ace.
Yeah.
Well, and the White Sox had him on.
Oh,
like
the
a
meanest.
inning-
Yeah, the
inning
meanest
regimen
inning count last year.
Yeah.
The whole second
I
half.
remember
he
it
would only
toward.
go 4
Yeah,
innings.
exactly.
Yeah.
He wasn't even getting that far. They'd throw him out there for 2 innings. He'd be
Yeah.
like an opener.
If
at
4
that
would be
point.
max.
Yeah,
At the end of the
so-
year, I think his last 6 starts, he was averaging 4 innings. But then the second he hit 4 innings, he was done. It was like they didn't even let. It didn't matter how many pitches he was at. He was done at 4 innings. But it was because they knew they were trading him.
Well,
They
right.
didn't
They
want to
want
blow
to
his arm
preserve
out.
him exactly.
Yeah.
But I gotta think too, from like the Red Sox perspective. I mean, you just trade for him, you spend money on him. Like you're gonna want to ease him back into, and guys aren't going 200 innings like they used to,
Which is
anymore.
crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
And the irony
I
is
agree.
that Crochet leads
But-
baseball in innings pitched, I think.
Like,
Or
Yeah, I
American
think
League.
he's up like around 90.
Yeah.
But I gotta imagine that arm fatigue and that sort of thing
Yeah.
comes to mind like when you start getting down the stretch, and there's still a lot of baseball left to play. Who knows where you guys would be at? Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't feel good to be a little under 500, but still, it's like Bregman comes back. Maybe guys start to gel a little better as the season. Campbell starts to
Yeah, I mean,
get used to the league. Meyer, same thing if he stays up, but.
yeah, I don't think he's going back.
No, I think that once the 3 are called up, they're called up. They're not
Yeah.
going anywhere. That was
I
the
don't
whole
think
plan.
they'll be going back.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like you see teams doing that kind of thing all the time. Like the Orioles with Holiday last year.
Oh, yeah.
They did it with Mayo too. I mean, they bring him up and then clearly the kid's not ready. They send him back down.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of like, oh, we needed a guy because somebody got hurt and let's give him a shot. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Marcelo Meyer's pretty ready though. I think he's gonna end up staying with the team just because.
I mean,
once spring training ended, he had such a good spring training, and then when that ended, and they sent him back, he was like so bummed out about it for the fact of like he knew that he
he
played.
felt like he earned it.
Yeah, like he earned a roster spot, and they denied him because Trevor Story basically.
Well, and that's I get it because he's like the name, he's the contract, whatever. But like, what's he batting 215 right now?
Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
just
He
had.
only has 7 home runs.
Yeah, and he
Like,
just
it's
had
not-
3 hits the other night.
Yeah,
But that was like-
he was their offense in that last game
And
against.
I gotta imagine
Yeah.
he's batting in the heart of your order, no?
Yeah, I think he's batting 6th today. It's
Yeah,
not the heart of the order, but
no, he's been bouncing kind of between like
Who's this?
5 and 7.
Oh, okay.
In the lineup.
I would have thought
But
like
he-
4 and 6.
Well, he
something like
was
that,
up
yeah.
there, but when he started playing so bad, I mean, he went from batting like 326 to like 215.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
So in that stretch, he slowly moved back in the order.
yeah.
What's he?
That makes
Where's he
sense.
tonight?
He's batting 6th tonight. But he batted 7th. He batted 6th tonight, and then last night he batted 7th.
Yeah, so he's been bouncing around back there, but I mean, right now that's where he should be. Like he's
I feel
not.
like he's the guy that should deservedly, but I get it, it's a business, the money, whatever. But I think Story should get the bounce, if anybody, on your lineup.
I definitely feel like that's our. I feel like he started playing well, so we were like didn't say it, but that's kind of where we had been. Like,
Yeah, I think
he
before
was
we
the
even
odd
started,
man
that's
out
what
to
we
us.
talked about. I was like, oh yeah.
we agree with you, my friend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, he's the odd man out. It's like the same thing when I look at the outfield to try to get Roman Anthony in. It's like I look at Cedon Rafael as like the odd man out, and it
Well, I
seems
see
like
him as more of a utility guy.
well,
so it's
yeah,
like,
so do I. I see,
he's
but
not
I
like
don't-
a-
I
shouldn't
see him
have
jumping
the-
out of center field every day.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna play shortstop when Trevor Story needs
Right,
a day off. He'll
right.
jump at second base when Campbell or Meyer needs a day off. He'll play the outfield when
Right.
any of the 3 positions when someone needs a day off.
Right.
Or if anybody needs a day off in the outfield, he just jumps into center. Honestly, you can
Right.
move anybody else over.
Well, if Devers needs a day off, somebody slides in DH, then he goes plays the outfield, like whatever kind of.
Right. So I mean, he's gonna get his at bats.
The kind of guy that offers the whole team like a lot of flexibility.
Right. Right. A
But
Brock
I don't
Holt
think
type
he
guy.
should be your
Yeah.
everyday center fielder.
No, he's the way I look at him is like a little bit better average wise right now, like Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah.
Like that's what he is. He's gonna bat you like 240, and he's gonna play a Gold Glove center field. But like,
He's gonna win you an ALCS.
yeah,
With only
I'm
2
th-
hits.
I'm
They're
three-
just
three
2
hits, bro.
3 hits.
Three hits.
Sorry, Jackie.
but like, I don't know. I don't value that much. Like,
No, yeah, I would rather have.
we can't score runs. So
Yeah.
what does it matter if like?
Right.
If we're losing games 3-2, what does it matter if Cedon Rafaela catches a ball when we can't score 3 runs anyway?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
like,
So there's so many like holes in this team that shouldn't be there.
yeah.
And they're like, I was like when I was listening to the Corey interview earlier today, he was like talking about like, and pretty much like standard stuff like they asked him about like how they do the lineup, and he was like saying like, oh, you swap this guy down, we move him in the line, we always do everything. That's why they've had like 6 or 7 different cleanup hitters this year. It's like you got to do it by matchup, and then when lefty comes in, you take out so and so, you put Rest Snyder in, and it's just like, why is there so much movement for a lineup that can't fucking score runs? Like it's so annoying. Like
Yep.
all this overthinking. Maybe just let them play and get comfortable doing something.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, no, that would be silly.
Did you ever think about? No, I agree too, but I don't. I think this guy, Dave Hobday, he wants to switch Cora with the Bat Boy.
I mean,
So-
honestly,
So that might shake things
Yeah, the
up.
Bat Boys.
If
they
the Bat
put
Boy has
Devers
our-
1 through 9.
if he has our point of view where he's
Hey,
just
man,
like,
the
hey,
Bat Boy's a
we're gonna
cool
put
guy.
guys there and leave them and just see how it plays out. Like maybe that's what we need.
I really searched up. I already knew what he said. I don't know why. I waited for dramatic effect. Another one said after Garrett Crochet's, "Where would we be without Crochet?" It doesn't matter. Where are we now?
Yeah,
With him.
at 29 and 33.
We'd be what 6 games under 500.
And they're like 500 in his starts this year, right? Like
Yeah.
that's where the 500 kicks in. It's whenever their ace pitches, because God forbid they actually get hits.
Yeah,
But
the
the whole
lineup
offensive approach just doesn't
it's terrible.
make sense to me. Like,
No, it's
try
bad.
to air everything out and like just not
Just
get
let
smart
them
hits.
hit, man.
Normally we don't agree with Jim Rice on the show because he was
I-
mean to me,
Yeah,
but
Piece of shit.
piece of
he's
shit.
right though when he
He's
talks
right.
about
Yeah,
the lineup.
you're not good enough to be whatever these grifters are telling you to be.
Right.
Small ball, singles, doubles, or you get a single turn to a stolen base. They're one of the best running teams out there, and then they just stop doing it.
Yeah, I know.
Which made like
made
they
no
were,
sense.
Yeah, Trevor Story had like 9 stolen bases in the first like month of the season or something like that. Like, or no, he had like 6 or 7, but still, that's pretty good for him. Abreu had like 6 or 7 stolen bases.
And
then they
Durant had
all-
like 10.
Yeah, and I think I think Rafael has 7 now. But he hasn't been caught, but they just barely run anymore.
I know.
It's like
I mean, we're barely on base.
barely on base. But even then, it's like they've had so many. Like we say they're barely on base, but they have had too many opportunities where they've left people on base. Like they have every game. There's never been a game. Well, not never been, but there's maybe like a few games where their offense has completely done nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of games where they strand 3 innings in a row. A guy on second, guy
Right.
on third, guy on third base, no out, strikeout, pop up, and you're like, all you have to do is just fly the ball out to center field. Or if you want to do that, pop up should do that. If you want to, you just gotta get the ball like
Right.
into the field, and they can't do that when they need to, and it just doesn't make sense. Which is why you would think for a team that is so advanced statistic driven, that when you see that whatever method you're using for the hitting approach isn't working, that you would think they would do something to change it, instead of
Right.
putting 7 different guys at a cleanup spot.
Yeah, but the computer.
Bat boy.
The
He needs the
computer's
bat boy. That's what we need.
But the computer's telling them that this is the right path.
Right.
So when it's
What-
going wrong, it's like,
But
You know-
what if the computer was wrong?
what?
What?
No, I
Yeah.
don't believe that.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm stupid. That's stupid of me. I should.
Baseball was never played like
Yeah,
that.
no, obviously
They're
they're.
using computers since 1890.
Ted Williams was like, he had that Mac Pro. He could show up every single game.
You've never seen the video of him in the dugout with the tablet after striking out?
Oh yeah,
I've
he,
never
Ted,
seen
he
that.
was buried in that iPad.
I watch that every day.
Dude,
Like,
it's like
I wake up and I just put on the Ted Williams with tablet video. I just Google that. I go Ted Williams with tablet after hitting.
He's just sitting there with an iPad, and you're like, when
yeah,
the?
it worked every time, man.
That's wild.
That's why he was so good.
Yeah.
Tony Gwynn
You know,
playing
used
like
tablets.
Candy Crush on it.
Yeah,
Oh fuck.
he was that good. He started playing Candy
He's
Crush after a while.
locked in.
But yeah, something needs to change. And is that change a trade
Bat boy.
or the Bat Boy being the new manager?
honestly,
I hate it. Oh, I love it.
they do need a trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel
I
about the Duran trade rumors?
I hate
don't
it.
agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the person who gives a shit. We don't have a lot of players on this team that give a
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And if I was a Red Sox fan, I wouldn't want him traded.
No.
I'd want him on my team.
Do
Yeah.
how do you how do you feel the Red Sox? Would you think they're
Yeah.
going to be better this year?
Yeah, what was your
I
perspective?
mean, I did, to be honest with you. They did a lot this offseason. Like, they really showed me, I feel like, personally, or whatever, everybody, let's put it that way, that they wanted to be serious about this year. Especially, too, like, them being, like, weird, right? Like, they were sellers a couple years ago, and then they go out and then they pay Trevor Story, and it's like, wait, are we selling it, right? Because you let
Yeah.
Bogarts go, you
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
want to sign him, then you sign, that's what happened. And then you sign
We
Trevor
signed
Story.
Trevor Story the year
Yeah,
before.
And it's okay, right. That's
With
right. He played
Bogarts on
second
the
base.
team,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's like, make up your mind,
yeah.
right? Like, what are you
They
doing?
don't know what
And
they're
then like
No.
halfway through the season, they're like, all right, this isn't working. Like,
Blow the
we're
team
not.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so it's kind of, I mean, from my perspective, I don't know as much about them as you guys, or pay as close attention to them as you guys. But yeah, from like my perspective, it was just they didn't really feel. It didn't feel like they really knew what they wanted to do, and they weren't like they were like half in, half out of the pool, right? And
Yeah.
now it felt like, okay, we have an opportunity. We like Bregman a lot. We see him like really helping this ball club. You go out, get Crochet, like you sign Bueller, which looks good at time on paper, and now you're looking at it in June, and it's what's he got, a 4.86 ERA or something,
Yeah,
but like
yeah, it's
he.
And they're talking about trading him as well.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you need those guys that you go out, you spend the money to contribute. Like, that's why you do that. And
Yep.
so when the only person, I shouldn't say the only person, because Bregman's been doing well, but now he's hurt. But I mean, Crochet's playing. I think he's questionably the Cy Young right now.
Yeah.
Like
He's like 2.02.
it's not. I don't even. I think it's 1.
I think it's
it one?
Yeah, I think it
he's
dropped
sub
under
2,
this last
and
start.
He's got 101 strikeouts. Like, so because I
Just
went and
Chris
looked
Sale
at
again.
Tarek
Yeah,
Steele.
It's another Chris
Stubble,
Sale.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
The same scenario too. It's like just steal their ace, and then he's nice for you, and then
He'll be
what
shitty
you don't
in
want to
2
pay
years.
him, so then he's gonna be all
Well,
pissy, and then like go to
And
another
then he'll
team,
win a
win a
World
Cy
Series.
Young
Yeah.
again.
But we locked him up for what, 5 more?
I think it's a 6-year contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
which I think is a good move.
Yeah. No,
But
it's
yeah, I
great.
think you want to see something more consistent. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
if you're gonna be serious, be serious. Ride or die with it.
Yep.
Stop doing this like weird, cutesy stuff. Get back to the the nuts and bolts of it, and just play some baseball. Get into a groove. Because I don't know what you guys think, but I believe that baseball is so like ebb and flow. It's a lot of momentum. Like you just get hot at a certain time, and then you cool off at certain times, and like everybody's gelling all of a sudden. We're healthy,
Yeah.
those sorts of things. And
So I feel like a big part of that though is like locker room camaraderie.
well, right,
Like,
but you got to win games to get that going.
Yeah,
Like
'cause
you
if you
guys
don't
want
lose
to
one,
have
you can be
fun
best
playing
friends.
together.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that starts to happen. Baseball's a long season, right? So that starts to happen, but we are getting into June now, so you want to start to see that sort of thing take place.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, talking about momentum, like how many games have the Red Sox played where they had a great comeback, they showed some heart, walk-off win, dominant win, and then you're like, cool, they're going to build some momentum. This is what this team
Here
needed.
it
And then the
goes,
next
and then-
game, they lose by
We're
1.
all
We're already
downhill.
down 3-0. In case you guys are wondering.
Okay,
Oh wow,
that's cool.
Sorry.
to the Angels,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mike
yikes.
Trout.
you wish.
He's got a hit, but no.
There we go.
All right. Well, thank you, Brian Bayo.
Mm-hmm,
So 4 and a
Yeah,
third
wasn't
today.
he supposed to be like? Because I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was supposed to be like the next coming of Pedro, right?
That's what they were saying.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
well, now he's on Facebook,
But-
remember?
Oh yeah,
He was
Brian
on-
Bayo.
it-
Brian.
No, it was spelt right,
Oh, is
but
Oh, his
But-
bio was spelled wrong. Wasn't
yes,
it?
but his it was spelled like B Ryan. I was like he definitely wrote Brayon Bello for sure, 100%. And then he was like Brian, it's Brian. Fucking Brian. I mean, damn it, it's me. I should know.
It's my Facebook.
I have
Here's my 4 friends.
My 4 friends. Dude. Their combined age is 400. Right? They were. Dude.
They're
They're
so
all
old.
old people. They're like, oh, I remember. I
World
just
War
watched
II
him.
vets.
I just watched him on the TV.
Oh, is that Brian Bayo? Wow.
What a
Brian
rebel.
Bello of the Red Sox?
I
Wow.
love that man.
I heard he's a whippersnapper.
Anyway, sorry, I always get us off track.
No, you're all good. I think they're probably down 3-0 because Anthony Rendon hit a home run, right?
Oh, dude, actually,
How's he doing these
let me
days?
check up on him.
Yeah,
He loves baseball.
we knew it.
He's
First
playing.
thing that pops up
He's
Yeah,
playing. He's got 400 home runs
today.
today.
it's a pretty
Yeah,
good
dude.
season. Good
They had to
game.
take away 397 runs because it seemed unrealistic.
Oh yeah,
But
well,
that
yeah,
actually happened. Kind of like Wilt's 100-point game. Like it happened, but like nobody really was there to see it.
Yeah, so
Because no one's gonna go to an Angels game. Like I'm not. But anyway, yeah.
Doing terrible as always.
great. Can't
Anthony Rendon.
wait to watch
update.
more. He did. He cranked the home run. I knew it.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. He's doing great. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's so good. You can see what I typed for him. It's just gibberish. 'Cause
It-
I already,
it
knew,
really
I already
is.
knew he was doing nothing. I mean, he's sitting on his couch, keeping that bad boy warm. Does he even go to games? You think he goes to
No.
games?
No,
No,
I don't think he
not.
talks to anybody. He
Probably
probably
not.
they're like, hey, like, he has like missed calls from Angels and like.
No, he's at home rehabbing.
Oh yeah. It's like breaking his toe for next year. My toe's broken, guys.
I
Dude,
can't
it was
do
like
this,
the
guys.
second day of spring training. It was like, and Anthony Rendon has a hip injury, needs surgery, will miss the whole season. And it was like, would you injure yourself in the off season? It was like, oh,
Shit.
I,
Yeah, the other one.
no, I can't go to the hospital. I can't.
Ready to play third base?
Spring training starts in like 6 months. I gotta wait for that. Like, dude, are you serious?
I got
Like,
hurt putting my cleats on. They can't expect me to do that every day. Oh
this
my
is
god.
wild.
Dude, that stat that you said, what was it? He has the same amount of injury stints or IL stints as home runs,
Home runs.
with the Angels,
Yeah.
13 and 13.
No way.
Yeah. Anthony Rendon has as many home runs with the Angels as he does IL stints, 13.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, dude,
man.
he just loves baseball. He's love
I
IL.
used to- I'm gonna be
IL is
honest,
part of
I
baseball.
used to really love
I was
that
gonna
guy.
say, I was like, this is a guy who actually really
I really
loves
loved
Yeah.
Anthony
Rendon.
Rendon. Like, when he was on the Nationals,
he
dude,
was
he
a-
was so nasty.
He was
He
great.
was.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was
nasty.
great.
Yeah, and then he signed that big contract, and
Well,
yeah.
he wins a World Series too, and then he goes
Yeah.
signs a big contract, and now he's just like, you know what? I love
Okay.
baseball so much.
Yep, love
I'm
it.
gonna watch
I'm
it from
just
home.
I can't watch all the games.
Yeah, I
playing.
can't watch everything when I'm playing.
I want to see how other team. I want to see how the Padres are doing. They're fun.
$38 million.
Oh my god, so
year.
wild. That's so
Sit at
wild.
home.
Do nothing.
Must be nice, dude.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
it make you
It's
feel
wild.
like I don't know?
I'm just an
Must
injury
be
away from
completely
being a
off
millionaire,
topic.
dude.
That's good. Yeah, I'll get hurt at work. Watch me.
All right.
You didn't hear
For that much money?
Yeah, 38 million. Like, yeah, I'll sit at home and watch baseball all day. I love it.
He's not
Doesn't
even-
matter what I did. The union's gonna fight for me.
Oh no, it's the Confederacy. Damn it! That's not the union we wanted.
Oh, damn it. They're not gonna like people like Anthony Rendon.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna see that guy be like, wait a minute,
he
we're notoriously something.
better been in the sun too long. 'Cause I don't like that.
Hey man, what's your name again?
Rendon.
Mm-hmm.
Rendon. Right.
Like Brandon.
Good old Rendon.
That's
Tony
right.
Rendon. That's me. I love baseball.
Watch me play.
Let's go to any Angels game.
All right. So enough of the shitty Red Sox over the past 8 games.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this series coming up.
Yeah, we have the Reds first time of the year, Red Sox and Yankees, and the pitching matchups are Friday Walker Buehler versus Warren. I don't know his first name.
Will Warren.
Will Warren.
Yeah.
Buffett Warren. Saturday is Garrett Crochet versus Ryan Yarbrough. Great first name.
Mm-hmm.
I snapped. Sunday was supposed to be Fitz, but he got sent down to Worcester.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Because he pitched so well.
Yeah, because they were like, this guy is so, because the more runs you get, the higher you are, the better you are. It's kind of like an average, right?
Well,
Decided
MLB
rehab
has-
starts should be in
MLB
minors.
has zero, like you want to be like A, double A, triple A. Like there's no quadruple A. So
Oh,
here,
yeah,
he
there's
was
like, surely, like we have to find just, sorry,
A is
Dick.
the best letter. It's the first one.
Yeah,
True.
so you start with everything.
Yeah.
You want to go down AAA?
That's exactly how you
Going
spell
down.
it. That's how it's
Wow,
pronounced.
he really wants to go there. But I'm assuming it's gonna be Cooper Criswell possibly because I think he got called up in place for Richard.
Yeah, that
Fitz.
makes sense.
That's
So,
what I was wondering.
Either that or
who got
Hunter
called
Dobbins
up.
coming.
Or Hunter Dobbins. I
John
think
Dobbish?
John
Yeah,
Dobbins.
John Dobbish, love that guy.
They said he's back in the rotation too, so
Definitely not sweaties.
it's important to me you remember this. But yeah, that's Carlos Rodon is pitching Sunday
Yes.
for the Yankees.
Yep.
So, what we got?
We might win one game.
Yeah. So
One out of 3.
so here, yeah. So I'm thinking we probably don't win a game.
Whoa! Don't be so optimistic.
And I have a feeling Judge will hit more home runs in the series than our whole team.
That's good.
Damn.
That's really good.
Sounds nice.
I think they're gonna. I think
It'll
they're
be like
gonna get
2.
swept.
That'll be way more than we hit in the series.
Yeah, right.
Well,
they're likely
Rafael
gonna get
Devers
swept.
hates the Yankees. So
That's
he might-
true.
And
He
I
is
was gonna
seriously,
say,
he's
I
not-
feel
he's
like
not
we
a
always
Yankee guy.
play each other really well.
He is a
Like
Yankee
whether you're
Hey,
good.
maybe they
or
sweep
not.
the Yankees and go on a run. Like, momentous.
you know-
Stop.
Hey, you know, and I know, it started, but that's how it started in 2004.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Was it we beat the Yankees and
They're gonna trade Jaron Duran to the Padres tomorrow, right? They're gonna get back.
Johannes Cespedes.
Dude, it's gonna be so
They're
wild.
gonna get back Orlando Cabrera and Doug Minkiewicz, right?
No, it's gonna be so wild when Connor Wong just fucking sticks Aaron Judge in the face.
Dude, he's gonna jump up,
Just
Full
like,
arm
boom,
extension
that's
up.
gonna start it all.
dude. Imagine that fight, Connor Wong versus Aaron Judge.
I
Like,
like
how
how
much
he did one of those
difference?
backflip
Body
kicks.
slam the man.
Just jump and flip and kick at the same time.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like Aaron Judge couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag.
I feel like he throws punches like
Just
that.
Being honest,
I
dude,
think he does like palm out.
He's like a big dude, but he's not.
Stanton
like,
though. I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like Stanton
Stanton
throws
would-
haymakers.
Yeah, no,
would
that
probably
dude-
throw
He's like The
hands,
Rock
dude.
in a movie, that MMA movie where Rock's like, I'm tough.
You know that man throws around his
The one
body
with
weight.
Kevin
Oh
James.
yeah.
Kevin, yeah. Here
That
comes
one?
the
Here
here comes
comes
the King of
Boom.
Queens.
Yeah, here comes Ball Cop.
How do you feel about the series coming up, ZP?
I mean, I'm excited. Obviously, I'd like to think that we get out of there at worst 2-1.
Yeah.
I think going up against Crochet though it's a tall drink of water.
Yeah.
That's a task, you know.
Matt made the joke earlier that they're gonna lose that game 1-0. And he's
Yeah,
a
no,
pitching
right,
champ.
and
They
that could
set it out
that
here,
could
actually.
obviously
Yeah.
that could happen, but
It's true.
the likelihood is probably not. And we have Will Warren going, which I mean he has like he's like I've watched games where he pitches well, he gets to the 5th and then just implodes, or like he's pitching really well, he walks somebody, gives up a 2-run home run, and then it's like damn, like
Here comes the
he's
pizza.
still got a bunch of strikeouts, or whatever, and he's having himself a good game, but then he does that 2-3 times,
Yeah.
and then it's all of a sudden now he gave up 5-6 runs, and it's like.
Yeah.
But he's had flashes. I just think he's like young, and I don't know, like
He's like the closest thing on your team to a Red Sox pitcher.
I guess
That's not Garrett.
I don't know, dude. We have honestly, other than Fried, who's been
Oh yeah.
lights out. He's been great.
I meant to ask you, like, how do you feel about the Yankees? Even I know you guys are good, but like, how do you feel as a fan watching?
Yeah. Well, are you still holding that?
He's just grabbing a tray.
Oh, all right. Weird. I was like.
No, it's delicious pizza. 2 pizzas, my mouth, right now.
No, I think obviously you see your team go to the World Series for the first time in 15 years. Was it 15 years?
15 years.
Which is
Crazy
sickening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
For the
crazy
Yankees,
for the
15
Yankees
years
to
to
go.
drought.
That was the first decade.
Welcome
in,
to the
like,
rest of the
since
world,
baseball.
buddy.
No, I know, but that was like the first decade since baseball started. The Yankees didn't go to
Yeah.
the World Series, so that was a
Yeah,
drought,
20
man.
were
And then
great.
to see them lose the way they did, it was so embarrassingly bad. Like we didn't look like we belonged on the same field as the Dodgers, and
No.
then
Not many teams do.
Juan Soto leaves. That's like a kick in the dick right there, But I was really happy with Cashman, what he went out and got. I like Bellinger. I think I was kind of scratching my head on the Goldschmidt move, but it looks to be turning out really well.
Yeah, he's doing
He
great.
did.
Yeah, really
He's
good.
kind of like he looks a few years younger this year
Yeah.
than he has
Yeah.
the last
Change
couple
of scenery
seasons.
is just a good thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at Bregman.
Yeah.
Bregman, I think, is having one of his best seasons. What'd you say? 5 years in the last 5
yeah,
years.
yeah.
So sometimes it is just that. But I was I thought Goldschmidt was just one of the best players in baseball for so long that it just starts to fall off once you start to. It just
Age
that
gets-
happens.
Gets to you
Yeah.
finally. Yeah.
Especially for
But
his
I like
durable
to see
too,
he's
like,
sipping
super
on the
long.
fountain of youth a little bit. And then obviously Fried, again, a guy that it was like I guess he was one of the premier free agents,
Yeah, he's
pitching
been
wise.
nasty,
Well, he's
really good.
definitely the best left-handed pitcher available, but. He's good. He's injured, whatever, on the Braves. So you go out, you spend all that money on him. It's kind of like, all right, well, I hope he is
Yeah,
the
does
good
something.
version
Yeah,
of
yeah.
himself,
Right.
And so far so good.
Yeah, so far it's
So
been
far,
very
so
good.
But-
good. He's been nasty. His pickoff move's disgusting.
Oh,
Dude,
dude,
oh
it's-
my God.
it's
disgusting.
How do you tell? Like he's so good at making it seem like he's pitching. Like the movement
Yeah,
is
like-
exactly the
And he
same.
just
Masks
steps to
it
first.
so
Yeah.
well.
It's done.
No,
Perfect,
it's really
dude.
good. So yeah, he's been really fun to have, and I personally think this team is a little bit better than it was last year, because like yes, you have Juan Soto in the lineup, that's gonna be incredible, but like we had a lot of outfield issues, like Judge was playing center, you know what I mean,
yeah.
like
Right now, you guys got Dominguez.
Yeah.
right,
And Trent Grisham's been playing well.
Well,
He's
that's
been
who I
playing
was
really
gonna
well.
say. He's been a revelation this year.
Yeah.
He's what the Padres.
Wanted him to be.
Well, because he had, he was nice back in the day. Like when he first started, he had
Yeah,
like
so-
20,
yeah.
20 seasons. You
Yeah.
know, he was supposedly a really good player.
He was a top prospect when
right.
he came up.
Then he sucks for
Right.
a while. They ship him out, included in the deal, just to like get off his money kind of
Yeah.
thing. And now he's coming in,
Resurgence.
swinging barehanded, just
Yeah, dude,
swatting
old
balls.
school baseball.
Yeah, and it's that's
Gotta
been
love
fun.
it.
And then I also love Ben Rice. Like this kid got
Yeah.
called up, and he's doing a lot with his opportunity, and I love to see it.
Ben Rice from Massachusetts, but we don't give a shit.
But
Yeah.
It's no
honestly,
Sean Newcomb.
Yeah, right.
No, he's a fun guy to root for, though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I-
Like,
Yeah, Sean
Yeah.
Newcomb though.
no, I'm
man.
not talking about him, dude.
We know.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about Ben Rice. He's just like a genuine kid. I feel like so. He's just like an easy guy to want to see succeed.
Yeah, but he's a Yankee.
Yeah, but he's,
Ah,
yeah, I
all
can't.
right, whatever. I guess
We,
that's
we've already been so nice to them.
But anyways, yeah, I don't know. So obviously, I think the team is a little bit more well-rounded than it was last year. but I do think like losing Soto really sucks. I don't. It remains to be seen if Judge can be a good player in the playoffs. So he can do all this like all season. I mean, if he's staying healthy, that's like a great thing to me. And then when he's healthy, he's doing this. It's like awesome, but it's like do it in October, dude.
Right when it matters most.
I mean, hey,
So I never, and I feel like these last 15 years have done this to me, but like I don't get my hopes up with them because we'll go to the ALCS and then we just lose to the Indians or something. You know what I mean? It's like brutal, or the Astros. Like it's.
Yeah,
It got to the
Astros were your
point.
kryptonite.
It got to the point where it's just like I
Holy.
can't get too excited. Like I got to see it, you know. And
Yep.
and the way we looked in the World Series last year, it was just kind of a reminder that like we're not there yet. Like
Yeah,
But it
like
also
we
is
had-
I was gonna say it's also a testament to how bad the AL really is, which is
I,
the more we talk
no,
about
I
this,
agree.
it
It's
gets getting more
also-
frustrating as a Red Sox fan.
Yeah.
That we can't even crack that.
It's also a testament to how good the
the
Dodgers
Dodgers
are.
But
well,
yeah,
dude, it's kind of gotten to the point because okay, obviously I grew up a Yankees fan. I'm around Red Sox fans, surrounded my whole entire life, and then like everybody's like, "Oh, fuck the Yankees, they buy championships," and it's like, hate us because you ain't us kind of thing, right? But now the Yankees, I feel like they toned down the spending for a little while. I guess recently they have, but like Cole was their last like big signing in a while. You know what I mean?
Well, they
weren't-
signed Rodon a couple years ago.
Well,
for
right,
money.
but I just mean like there was a period in time they weren't really spending money.
Yeah, right,
You know
right,
what I
right.
mean? And it was like,
Or they were, and it was.
but
on the wrong
meanwhile
player.
the
Yeah,
Dodgers
Ellsbury.
were.
Yeah.
The Dodgers were piling it on, and they still continue to pile it on. And now it's just to the point where I'm like, all right, like I get it. You
But-
got fucking Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani. You go out, you get Sasaki. Like chill out and
Re-sign
let,
Teoscar
like save some for the rest of us. And
Yeah.
so
Well,
I
the thing
guess
is,
I kind
like-
of see it the way that everyone else saw the Yankees.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
you
yeah,
guys are
yeah.
finally
a little
seeing it.
differently now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Yankee fans were really seeing it last year when they were all calling for like baseball to put a salary cap in so the Dodgers.
Yeah,
could
which
do
I
this.
I
And
yeah,
it
that's
was
crazy.
like, oh, now you guys are
yeah, right.
complaining, huh?
I feel like I'm a Yankee.
Can't buy Mickey Mantle anymore, huh?
As much as I'm a Yankees fan, I'm not like a typical one. You know what I mean?
Right,
I'm not
right.
like incoherent because I love baseball. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm not previous to like the rest of the league. Like
Right, you know what's
Yeah.
going on.
you know.
Right.
So and I also like other guys. I like players, and you know what I mean. So it's like I pay attention to the whole game, not just the Yankees, and be some like smut talker about everybody else. You know.
Yeah.
So my point though is like, what the Dodgers are doing right now is like, it's almost the Tom Brady effect, as I'll put it. They're getting players without even signing them to the highest paid money in free agency. Like the Red Sox offered Tanner Scott the most money of any team in free agency, and he chose to go to the Dodgers because he said, "I have the best chance to win a World Series.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I want to do, and they're gonna help me."
Can't
for real.
blame him, yeah.
And it's
And
like,
think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, the Red Sox want you. No offense, but
No,
the Red Sox
yeah.
want you, or the Dodgers want you. You look
right,
at that lineup.
the
you're
reigning
like,
World
okay.
Series.
Not even just that, but
winners.
you look at the lineup. You're just like, I got all these guys on my
Yeah.
team, and I don't have to face them as hitters. And
Right, yeah.
And they're gonna be like padding, the score, so I can come out here and
Yeah, and just
and
close the game.
Yeah.
breeze through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like they went out the top two free agent pitchers for, top three free agent pitchers if you want to look at it like overall wise were Blake Snell, and then for relief pitchers was Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott. They got all three.
Yeah.
Like
And they got Sasaki,
Yeah,
Right.
And they got Sasaki.
which he hasn't made
hasn't
it
worked
so
out
well.
really yet, but he's hurt now too.
Yamamoto didn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't as advertised last year.
No, I know he's been good this year.
And look what he's doing this year.
I know he's been
Yeah.
good.
So,
Sometimes you just need that time to acclimate. To,
Yeah,
it's, a whole,
it's like
it's a whole
anything
different
else. You
league.
got to learn.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I mean, you're coming from a completely different game in a sense.
Yeah.
They play baseball way different
Exactly.
than the
100%.
Americans.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But
yeah, I'm.
we need some positivity on this podcast. So we had a Yankee fan talk about the Yankees.
I mean, that's why you had me here. I mean, I'm not trying to like gloat.
No,
you know
no,
what
no,
I mean?
I-
But I guess, I think the Yankees are doing pretty well. I do have a lot of concern about, our back half of the staff. Like, we have Rodon, we have Freed, we have Clark Schmidt back, I guess. But we just called up Carrasco. We got Ryan Yarbrough starting games now for us versus, we brought him in to be a relief pitcher, like
Right.
a mid-range guy, but
I feel like Warren's been pretty solid.
I don't care for him. I don't. I just think maybe he's not fully there yet. But like, I don't care for him in our rotation right now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't not like the player. I just because I've seen flashes. But I was saying this to Lopes. Like, I'd watch a game and it looks like he's pitching really well. You know, because you're watching pitch by pitch. But then he gives up a 2-run shot here, and then 3 runs there, and now.
Right, you need him to tighten it up a little.
Yeah, right. Like
I-
now you're down 5 or 6. Like,
I was telling him it's like that's like their version of having every Red Sox starter that's not Crochet.
Yeah.
It's like they're Bayo. Although Bayo decided to give up runs a little earlier today.
yes.
Yeah.
So I would like to see them go get another starter. I really felt like they needed to do. I wanted to go get Corbin Burns. Like I was like, yo, we didn't get Soto. You were gonna spend that $700 million. Go spend it. Go get Burns. Go get Fried. Go get all these other guys that you got, and like, do it.
Yeah.
You know, but.
Yeah, the Yankees are in a good spot right now.
Yeah.
Very good spot.
I just think we could use a little starting pitching, and we just lost Luke Weaver. He just hit the IL.
Yeah,
today,
yeah.
Which is brutal, because another acquisition, Devin Williams. Like, I mean, shit. Hal Steinbrenner changed the
I know.
the beard
Yeah,
roll for
right.
this kid.
Yeah.
Like a
He
baby.
can't even. He can't
Yeah,
even. I mean, he's
70
been coming
close.
around, I guess, a little.
I mean, yeah.
Lately.
It's easy
But
to
I think
drop a
he's got to
90
step
ERA.
up here and prove like.
It's a totally
It's a
different
different
market.
You know
It's a
who
totally
you
different
are,
Yeah.
why we went and got you the way we did, and what
Yeah.
we gave up to do it, and
It's different pitching in New York or
Well,
Boston
right, yeah,
than it
than
is pitching
Milwaukee.
in Milwaukee.
It's
100%,
true.
yeah.
It is, and I do like take that into consideration absolutely, and I know that like to be the case with a lot of guys. Like it's always like
I feel like
I was
just
nervous
those
about
nerves.
Garrett Cole, dude. When we signed Garrett Cole, I was like, are we gonna get the Pirates Garrett Cole, or are we gonna get the Garrett Cole from Houston? Because if it's the one from Houston, I want that, but is he gonna be able to perform in New York, or is he gonna go back to like?
I mean, it's
Pretty
quite.
mid,
Yeah,
you know?
it's questions you have to ask in this market.
You get both of them though with him.
Oh, and
That's true.
The,
More often than not, he's the Astros version.
we had the bases loaded with 1 out, so we obviously we didn't score any runs.
Oh,
We
yeah.
we scored a run before then,
Oh, that's
That's
good.
cool.
but we only had Rafael Devers up like at the heart of our lineup,
Mm.
so
Yeah,
that was
man.
good.
Nice.
They all
Wait,
struck
just
out.
now?
Hitting
Yeah.
approach is still great.
Yep, they all struck. No, they didn't. Oh, Abraham Torres didn't strike out. Good job.
Dude,
Hey.
I'm telling you, he's been
It's been solid
he's
for
been
us.
pretty hot.
Yeah, he's
dude.
not- he's
I
not
think
bad.
I just looked at his last 15 games. He's batting like 389.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 for the year. I mean,
Yeah, he's
Been
not
pretty
bad.
solid.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Plays
know,
de-
don't
he played
expect him to
decent
be an
first.
everyday player, but
Yeah.
Well, and
He
he's
shouldn't
not
be.
that guy.
no, he's not.
But you got an injury to Bregman
I know,
and
I know.
Casas, and you're just like you're talking about moving Campbell over to first. It's like you want a guy to be able to slot in that situation and then do this.
Yeah.
You know?
seems like Romy's going to be the first baseman. Honestly,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
yeah, it just is what it is.
Dude, and like I hate to be negative all the time about them, but it's like literally like your starting first baseman is Romy Gonzalez.
But like we talked about before, you can't go out and trade for a guy who's going to solidify your first base
Oh,
because
yeah,
Costas
right.
is going to come back next year, and
Yeah.
you need him to be a 41-20.
Yeah,
Well,
and
what
he's
about a guy
notoriously
like-
healthy?
What about a guy like Josh Bell? Because the Nationals have Nathaniel Lowe and Josh Bell.
Yeah,
But he's just a half
a
year
rental.
rental.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I
I
mean?
see
And
what
bridge
you're
the
Yeah, but
gap to Casas
you're only gonna rental if you feel like you have a chance to win. And right now, they're talking about getting rid of Jaron Duran. They're talking about trading Walker Bueller. They're talking about trading Chapman. Like you're talking,
everyone.
I mean, the
they're
Bueller
looking to
trade
sell.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
right,
The
there's-
Bueller trade makes sense.
and
I
the
mean,
Chapman one does too. They're both on 1-year deals.
Yeah, there's also like people throwing around the idea of Bregman being traded by the deadline.
Yeah, which is wild to me,
Like,
but it
they're
makes
like-
sense if you can get good
Yeah.
return out of him, and he's only going to stay for 1 year.
I meant to ask you guys this earlier. Like, well, what do you think if the Red Sox were to trade Jaron Duran? As obviously we don't agree with it. If they were to, which they seem like they plan on it,
can we get Tatis?
no,
I would,
feel
I would
like,
love that.
I
But,
feel like it doesn't work like that. And
Who's the Alex Verdugo of their team of their prospects?
yeah, right, yeah,
Yeah,
Give us
right.
Bogarts
Yeah.
back.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
they have a pretty high ranked catcher prospect. The Padres do.
Oh,
Yeah.
Connor Wong.
Connor Wong, get out of here.
Yeah.
Wait, well, like what? So like,
No, I feel like that's what you're gonna
Who's
get
their-
though. Like you're gonna
who's their
get
Jeter
you're gonna get
Downs, you know?
you're gonna
Right,
get
yeah.
prospects, and you're not gonna get any like
yeah,
MLB talent. Like I mean, obviously, that hopefully opens a spot if that does happen for Anthony. So you slide him in, and then you rebuild the prospect pool. But it's like
It just doesn't make sense to get rid of
Yeah.
one of your best players.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I know, it's
I don't
stupid.
think-
I
It
agree.
doesn't
It's
make
not,
sense. He had 70 extra base hits last year. He's finally starting to come around. I know he was in a little bit of a slump, but like today he's got a hit. He had 3 hits last night. Broke that like 0 for 15 or 0 for 17 streak he was on. Prior to going on that streak, he brought his average up to almost 300. He was at like 290, I think, or 289, something like that, when he started that 0 for 17 streak. So it's like, he's starting to come around, and on a team where we already have a hard time scoring runs, if you need him to, he can steal you bases, plays a solid defense. He does make errors from time to time, but he's one of our most consistent and best players, and to think about trading him to put Roman Anthony up, that doesn't help our lineup.
It doesn't make any sense.
You're going to get rid of your leadoff hitter to bring up a guy who, in a year or two, is going to be your 3 or 4 hitter. But like, realistically, you want Durant and him to be in the same lineup.
You can keep him and also call up Anthony.
Right.
But they also called up Nate Eaton.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
Because that makes a lot of sense. Because he had a good spring.
Yeah, but he's not going to be fighting you for arbitration.
No, of course not.
Do you think they do that just because they want Anthony to have everyday reps?
No,
He's not gonna get
extra
it.
service time.
Yeah, extra service. So if they were to call him up now, I think that they lose a year of his service time.
They do.
So yeah, he would.
If they call him up next year, they get him for like 7 years.
And I've already there's already like rumors that like Anthony will not take a deal.
Yeah.
That like Rafaela took or like.
If he's a superstar, he's going to want
he's gonna
superstar
blame
money.
him.
Yeah, no, I don't.
No,
of course
who
not.
would?
I don't blame him at all.
But I already know how that plays out. I mean, we've seen it with Mookie Betts. Oh, Mookie Betts didn't want to be here. Did Mookie Betts not want to play for Boston, or did Mookie Betts just want to get the money that he was deserved when he asked for $350 and the Dodgers gave him $375? Like, he didn't want to be here. No, maybe you're $50 million
Dude,
off
and
in
at that
negotiations.
time, dude, Mookie was like, who was better than Mookie?
It was, I feel like every MVP like race or like it happened twice. It was just Trout versus Mookie.
Yeah.
And
It was
I
for
think
like
they
4
50-50
years,
it,
5 years.
So
Just
I mean,
them.
like, yeah, no,
I mean, that
hate
guy
that,
puts
dude.
asses in seats too.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's making you
he's
guys.
got his own show, like
crazy
he's got his own
money.
podcast. Like,
Dude,
Roman
Mookie Betts
Anthony-
is such a great
Yeah.
dude to like.
He's
root
he's a
for.
good.
He's another one of those
baseball-
guys. He's just like a great guy to root for too.
He's-
Like,
and he's
you
also
wanna
great
see
for
him
the sport.
succeed. He's great for the sport.
Yeah.
He's electric. He's fun. Like
He's nasty.
Yeah,
he is nasty.
But he
but
didn't wa-
I like
but
to.
he didn't
I
wanna
like
be
his
a Red
style
Sox.
of play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
like his
what it
style
was.
of play.
Yeah.
for sure.
He didn't want to be a Red Sox though. That's what the fans are told.
I
You
hate
know.
that
Yeah.
narrative.
And that's what Roman Anthony will be too. Roman Anthony's going to come up for a contract. Let's say let's say hypothetically he ends up balling out for like 5 years. Comes up for a contract. The Red Sox offer him this. He thinks he's worth this. The Red Sox let him go. Another team signs him for the exact money that he was looking for, and then the Red Sox are going to push the narrative of, oh, he didn't want to be here, and it's like, oh, really? It wasn't the $150 million you were off in negotiations?
Yeah.
Like, you don't think that had to do with it? Like, as much as somebody wants to play for a team, it's the Juan Soto effect. When somebody comes along and pays you what you believe you're worth, you don't look at the team you're going to. You look at the dollar signs.
Yeah. Like,
Juan Soto's now looking at it from the other perspective because now that he did sign the contract and saw the dollar signs, he's now looking at the situation he's in and he goes, "Why did I leave New York?
Yeah.
Why did I leave the Bronx?"
yeah,
Dude,
I should
and
say.
I'll say this too, like
You can just tell too, like when you
Yeah,
watch.
he doesn't
like,
want to
he-
be with the Mets.
the narrative that he tried to push, like when he did sign, because remember he like turned off his phone. I don't know if you guys remember
Yeah.
this at all. During free agency, he was like very private, and now he finally comes and speaks, and he says that he didn't just look at it right now. He looked at it like long term, and he felt that the Mets gave him the best chance to win multiple championships over the Yankees. And I was just like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now I get Cohen's out here; he's spending money left
That's
and right,
why.
and
Well, yeah, I mean, when
and
you're
that's
up with a
cool.
But
Like
that's why.
I
Yeah.
get it, but
biggest
also
contract
like
in sports history.
when if like they don't have that pedigree that the Yankees have.
They,
And you're
they
already
don't, but nobody does.
you're already there.
No.
But I'm saying you're already there, and the Yankees are willing to toss you 700. What was it, 750? And he went to the Mets for 15 more in
Yeah.
a box for his family.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But now he's got to live in the micro, like you were saying. He's got to play day to day, and he's batting 234, and he's a shell of himself.
Right, and the thing is
he's
the
not getting
fans-
any protection in the lineup from Judge, and he doesn't get to swing like the way he wants. And
If you're a baseball player, are you pissed off with how Juan Soto's playing because like he might have ruined big time contracts for a lot of future stars?
I mean, yes and no. I feel like
Not saying they're not gonna get
I
signed.
feel like the
No,
money
no,
gets
I know what you're
crazy.
saying.
Like I don't want to start seeing like $700
$1
million.
billion.
Oh yeah, yeah,
you
but
know?
I mean, like Otani got the big contract
No, I know, but
prior, and yeah, like now Soto. I'm not saying you can't.
and I
turn
get
around.
it. I
And
do
they're already
get it.
saying, Gunnar Henderson or someone like that could be, or Ellie De La Cruz could be the next guy to get
Yeah.
that contract.
Which is exactly, and then
Yeah.
you start talking about guys who I don't necessarily think that they deserve that money.
I don't think Juan Soto deserves
Especially,
that money.
I don't think so either. But you look at
3-tool player.
what was Trout, the first 300 million guy?
Might have been.
Yeah,
But
sounds right.
he at that time, think about who Mike Trout was.
Right.
And what he meant to
Yeah,
baseball.
now that
and,
contract's a steal.
and
Well,
exactly.
He sucks, but.
But yeah, right. But you look at that contract, and at the time, that was like groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah.
And now we're tossing out $700 million
Now we're over
contracts
double
like
that.
it's nothing.
Yeah.
And it's gonna start going to players who don't necessarily deserve that money, but it's just that's what the market is now.
Yeah.
And the thing with Juan Soto too is like he's
So I don't
also,
love that for baseball. Sorry.
He's hearing it from the fans there, and that's also what's throwing it off. Is like he's playing bad, and the fans know how much money they spend on him, and the fan base just got overspending. $600 million to bring in Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer,
And then trade him halfway
they
through.
traded them in the same season they signed them,
Yeah.
and it's like you're looking at a fan base that is told they're going to spend all the money in the world on players, but they keep signing the wrong ones.
Yeah, and then they don't want to give a good deal to Pete Alonso.
Right.
Like the fact that
Yeah.
he signs a 1-year deal.
Well, the thing is,
That dude was like holding.
They're gonna
out.
after
use this
playing
now.
on like $500,000 on his rookie
Yeah,
contract.
Like you guys were
home
saying,
runs.
they'll use this now. If Juan Soto plays this way, it's going to be like, well,
Yeah, why would I
this is
give you
what
that money?
happens when we
Lose
sign
it?
you to a big contract.
Yeah.
And one of the things I wanted to say earlier too is like, when Juan Soto signed, and you were talking about like the whole money situation and the pedigree the Yankees come from. If you look at it realistically over the last 10 years or so, the Yankees don't spend money anymore.
Well, that's what I was saying
Co-
earlier.
yeah,
right?
Cohen has, since buying the team, has probably, besides the Dodgers, spent the most money of anybody,
Right.
and maybe more than the Dodgers. And he's actually showing over the last 5 years or so
Yeah, he's aggressive.
what Juan Soto wanted to hear.
Yep.
As much as the Yankees could tell him, we're going to go out and sign guys,
Right.
once the Yankees ink that $700 million contract, how many more guys are they really going to want to sign?
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're not
If you guys got him, do you really get Max Fried? Probably not.
Oh no, none of them.
Yeah, none of the moves they made. Paul Goldschmidt doesn't
Right.
sign with you. Like you don't. Even though he didn't make a lot of money, it's like those type of moves you're not looking to make anymore because
Right.
you spent $700 million on one player. You're looking to maybe build from in house now,
Right. Exactly.
or really like lesser valuable players like a Trent Grisham that you can get in a trade that you hope tees off now when he
Right.
comes here.
Yeah.
So
That worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think at the beginning of the year we were like, we did our overly optimistic Red Sox takes of like, yeah, they're gonna win 94,
93 games, I think I
yeah.
said.
I don't think the Yankees are that good. They lost Soto, and Goldschmidt's a shell of himself, much like we were talking about earlier. And who knows if Max Fried can handle the market? He has also been injured, and now here we are a few months later, and all the players that the Red Sox signed are good.
Yeah.
But they're likely going to be gone in a few months.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to be gone at the end of the year because they pretty much all signed 1-year contracts.
yeah, Bregman's the only one that you can't definitively say that he'll be gone.
I mean, at the beginning of the year, we didn't think he was gonna. We were like, if he comes to Boston and they're a playoff team and he puts up
And
the
he
numbers
mashes.
and he mashes, he's gonna get $40 million a year over 3 years. Like, why would he leave? And he's gonna sign a contract. It was a 4-year deal or something. He's 33 years old.
But if he comes here and mashes and we don't make the playoffs,
Yeah,
he can
then
use this
yeah,
as leverage
yeah,
to go
yeah,
sign with
exactly.
the fucking Yankees.
Or which my prediction is he's gonna be the Yankees third
Yeah.
baseman next season. That's
Yeah.
my prediction. Because
Which would make sense.
And
We do have a hole there.
yeah, who's your guys' third baseman?
It was Oswaldo Cabrera, but he's done
Oh,
for the
yeah,
year.
he got hurt.
And I mean, I guess DJ LeMahieu is still on the roster. He probably plays some third base.
But right now they're in the same
Jazz
spot
just
we're
came
in with
back.
half of our team.
Jazz just came back off the
Oh, yeah,
IL
work.
today,
Yeah.
so
Like,
I think he might get played at third some games. Just moving the lineup around, but I don't, it's probably just like a revolving door at third right now.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe you guys trade for Aaron Auto or something like that.
Well, they had the chance to do that
I-
before. I don't think
he
they
didn't
want
wanna
to
go
do
to
it.
the Yankees.
No,
Yeah,
he's
it was
fine,
between
I
Boston and New York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think it was between. Like
thought-
it was either Boston. The Astros pretty much had a trade locked in for him.
Oh yeah, and he didn't want
And
to
he
go to Houston.
declined it because he didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
And then he pretty much said that he only wanted to go to the Red Sox if he was going to get traded. And
Which I feel like he seems like a Red Sox.
yeah, he
Oh,
does.
Doesn't that
seem
make
like
sense?
Yeah,
like
he
you
mashes
could
it that way,
picture
too.
him in a Red Sox
Yeah,
uniform,
mash-
like no
He'd
problem.
be exactly what. And the craziest part of it all to me
He'd come in and mash like Jason Bay
is
did.
he said
You remember that?
Yeah.
he
dude.
said he'd play first base for us.
Yeah.
That's
Which
the
is
craziest
crazy.
Yeah.
He's the most
10-time Gold
elite.
Glove winner,
He's the most
12-time Gold
elite
Glover at
defender
third
at third base I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
yeah. He's like,
Says,
he's
I'll
like our
come play
generation's
first
George
base
Brett.
for you. We have a huge hole at first base right now, and we're like,
Yeah. Like,
Devers?
we got Abraham Toro.
Devers, can you go play first? I know you made
Like-
20 errors last year.
I know we told you to throw your glove away, but
But we need you.
can you go in the trash and grab it again, buddy?
Please.
Please, Bobby. We gave you money. Right?
Come on, we let Mookie go.
We chose
signed
you. We chose you.
Where's Bogart?
No.
Honestly, that move looks
at
better
him.
and better.
Looks back. No.
No.
I think that move looks better and better. Letting Bogarts walk.
Oh yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't care. About
That was the right.
Obviously,
move.
he's like a fan favorite. He's a hometown guy, like homegrown guy, but he's not. Then
That's a scenario of when change of scenery doesn't work.
Mhm.
Because I think he would still be good in Boston if he.
Well, he
if
went
he
to the
signed.
biggest ballpark. For
Yeah, he went to
most right-handed hitter-friendly ballpark.
See, yeah, like advanced statistics would tell you that that's not a good deal for the
Yeah.
Padres.
No.
The same way that they would tell you that signing Trevor Story to play anywhere other than Colorado, not a good idea.
Yeah.
The Red Sox were like, we don't look at advanced statistics for that. We look at it for like, pop-ups and stuff.
Yeah.
What do we
We
do?
like those.
We don't play in Colorado, so why would that affect us?
Exactly.
John, we don't play in Colorado. Sign him.
So,
Bogarts, teach him how to take your job.
so what do you think our record will be this weekend? I know we talked about it a little earlier.
I'm going sweep. I think they're going to lose the Crochet game 1-0 or 2 to
Yeah.
1.
I feel like he's gonna pitch his ass off. They're gonna lose. You know.
Yeah. And we have the pleasure of being there.
I feel like
but I feel
that
like they're
would
gonna
be
get
cool
swept.
for me,
Yeah.
but also I don't know that it's gonna happen. I feel like he'll have a game.
I mean, that Crochet game, anything can happen, honestly,
Yeah.
because if they just score a few runs and Crochet pitches well, they should be able to win it.
That's what
But
I'm saying.
but at the same time, like the offense is just so inconsistent that I
Yeah.
can't say they'll even score that much.
Yeah.
Like
I obviously like my Red Sox heart, my fandom heart, is hoping that they sweep the Yankees and then we finally see that momentum that they've been teasing for
but I
the
need
whole
to see
season.
that first.
But yeah, like even if you sweep the Yankees, there's a good chance you come back and get swept by whoever you're facing next. Because stay blessed.
Thanks.
Because it's just the team that they've been, and I don't know, man. Like the Yankees are a solid team. I think that right now it's hard to say. It's like right now between them and Detroit is like the best teams in the American League, right?
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, which-
Detroit's the best team in baseball.
Yeah, which is insane. And I bet Alex Bregman's like, God damn, I should have signed that contract. But yeah, no, I mean that's what happens when Javier Baez learns how to hit a baseball again.
Yeah.
You just become a pretty good team.
And Gleyber Torres is playing
Yeah,
well.
he's also on a contract. Did he sign a 1-year deal or was it a 2-year deal with Detroit?
I think it was multi-year.
Was
I
it?
feel like it was.
Yeah.
I feel like it was.
That's a player I wouldn't mind in Boston. I think he would have dashed in Boston.
Yeah.
But I mean his personality. But all their personalities are ass. Who cares?
What does it matter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
I mean, I'll
been
be
fun.
honest. I liked having him as a Yankee, but
Like,
you know,
yeah.
there are times
yeah,
where you're just like, damn.
yeah.
I
mean,
wanted to see more out of you, like not
Yeah.
running down the first base line, like stuff like that. You know,
I feel like
and
that
it's
stuff
just
is like become so common.
it's juvenile. It's
Yeah.
like adolescent. I don't know, man. It's prima donna,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, I get it, but also like,
Yeah.
do it for your team, do it for the fans. Like,
Yeah.
be a hard working player and just go out there every night and do your best.
See, I feel like this next generation of baseball players don't really care about that type of stuff anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
but
it's about breaking the tradition now than
Yeah.
keeping it.
which to a point I am fine with because like sometimes like I don't
somebody
mind
can
watching.
go.
Yeah, I don't mind watching home runs get pimped and stuff like that. That's cool, man.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean-
I like the flair,
Yeah.
the bat flips.
I'm not
the-
massing
that stuff.
Bumgarner.
I enjoy
Yeah.
that.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
right.
It's fun.
Don't
Too
give
bad.
up a home run.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Just don't throw a fastball in the
Don't
middle
step
of the
on
plate.
my mound, though.
Yeah. Don't step on my mound.
All right, Dallas.
All right,
Brady.
Dallas.
Sorry.
Dallas Brady, dude.
Legend.
Get off my mound.
You mentioned Jason Bay earlier, right, CP?
Yeah, I did. I was just saying how you guys acquired him at the deadline and just came in and just was like an
Dude.
absolute Red Sox, just
That guy was made for
baller.
Fenway.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had a great half year. Killed it the next year.
Got a big contract with New York, right?
Yeah, the Mets. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just out of baseball in 3 years or something like that.
Yep. Wasn't that good after.
But like, yeah, like it just.
It's sad
Fenway
to see
Park
that
was
kind of
amazing,
stuff
yeah.
happen in Pittsburgh too, because I've been seeing a lot of potential Skeens trades.
Yep.
'Cause
Yeah.
he's not part of the plan. It's like, dude, like
How
he
you-
was a rookie last
yeah.
year. How could he not be part of the plan? How, like, you're trying to build a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get money, but
I think that
he was a
there's-
rookie last year.
You
He's
know
still
why
under
he's not
control.
part of the
like,
plan? Because his value is only going to be as high as it is if he doesn't get injured and
Yeah.
for the next like 3 seasons, and that includes this one.
right.
Yeah.
So their plan is they got to dish him out before he either gets Tommy John surgery or before it gets to that point where teams are going to be like, we're not going to give you 2 of our top prospects for a year rental
Right.
for Paul Skeens, and then we're going to have to sign him to $700 million. Like, you know, that's not what's going to happen. And like, they know that realistically they're not going to win a championship in the next probably 3 seasons. So I think they're looking at if they could make a trade with a team like Boston and get Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, and a bunch of guys that 2 years, 3 years down the road,
Fuck it, trade Jaron Duran to Pittsburgh.
they,
Trade Paul
you know,
Skeens.
and
I'd be
They'd be
okay with
nasty.
Yeah,
that.
that'd be cool.
I wouldn't be okay with what you're saying.
oh yeah, no, I mean,
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
would you actually do that? Because if I'm
Durant
if
for
I'm,
Skeens? Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm talking
Sorry,
about
Jaron,
Anthony
but-
and Meyer.
No,
I wouldn't do that.
the
fuck
rumor
no.
that
I
I
don't think I
saw,
would do that.
the
If-
rumor
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
was it was Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, Christian Campbell, Tristan Casas, and
That's
Luis
nuts,
Morales.
Yeah, like
That's nuts.
Yeah, it would take
Oh,
5
jeez.
players
which is
to get just Skeens.
Yeah, that's
and then
insane.
and then we have to hope he doesn't get injured, and then lock him up to a huge contract.
yeah,
And we
Yeah, but
lose
you're
all our
1
top
and 2.
prospects.
yeah,
Oh, it'd be nasty.
dude, yeah, crochet, dude, oh
We
my
could
god,
win 60 games easy like
yeah,
that.
just
Yeah,
with
just
those
them two.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Score 1 run.
Yeah, but
I don't know about you guys, but that pizza's calling me like the Green
yeah, that
Goblin
pizza,
right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
The mask, dude. Can Spider-Man come out to play?
But yeah, I mean, you guys wanna end it there? You guys wanna talk about anything else?
Anything else you guys want to talk about? I don't. I'm always just a
I
passive.
mean, it's your show, so it's.
I-
No,
hey,
if you
dude,
have
hey,
something to say.
yeah, if
no,
you-
I
yeah.
just I don't know. You had mentioned that we were going to talk about some memories of the rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I did write some stuff down, but like it's
Yeah.
dark and I can't read, and,
Turn
and I
that-
gotta pee like a racehorse.
Google,
So
lights on.
I also could.
Hey Google, turn on the kitchen light.
Damn it,
Wonderful.
Google.
Okay, Google, turn on the kitchen light.
Oh, you forgot to say
you gotta hit the
okay.
Okay, dude. That's
Yeah,
what
they
it does at my house.
very
too.
proper.
I'll be like, hey,
Nothing.
okay. Then it works. It's like, all right.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't mind talking some past Red Sox Yankees.
Yeah, man. Back, remember when it was a rivalry? Remember when they were both pretty good? Remember when they both
Yeah.
spent a lot of money?
Well, those were the days.
Yeah, man, dude.
And it's
we didn't
like-
realize how good.
Well,
we
and
were.
that's the thing too. Is like we're kids,
yeah.
so it was like even cooler to us then.
Yeah, dude. I
And
remember.
so it was just like
Yeah, dude.
epic.
I remember like just knowing the names of Yankee players because I was so
teams were
enthralled by the
consistent.
rivalry. Yeah, like.
Nah, you're hanging out with Chris Murray. That's why.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Big Yankee guy.
Oh, dude.
Well, the teams were like, I mean, pretty much
Yeah,
every
dude,
year
it's
it was like the
true,
same guys.
yeah,
I was
you-
gonna say, it was
Yeah, do you remember playing softball? Oh, no, baseball with that kid. Just showed up in fucking full full
Yankee
uniform.
attire. Yeah, I don't even know where you get pinstripes like that, but he had them.
Yeah, Adam, dude. Yeah.
Honestly, what
That's
a legend.
fire.
But yeah, no, yeah. Back in the day when it was a real rivalry when you looked forward to the games when they were, you know,
Yeah, but both teams had like cornerstone players,
yeah.
Yeah.
like consistency. Like there was, you know, the Yankees had Jeter,
Right.
A-Rod,
Right.
fucking Matsui, like just
I mean,
guys
I
in the
could
lineup.
Gary
I could keep
Sheffield.
going,
Yeah,
dude.
Sheffield.
Yeah.
Yep.
Posada, Mariano Rivera.
Or besides, that's the first time I
like-
ever met you wearing a Jorge
I know. I
Posada
was
jersey,
gonna.
dude.
That was something I was gonna bring up. Is I think
yeah.
the first time Ryan and I met, I was wearing a Jorge Posada jersey.
Yeah, dude. I'll tell that story. Or you want to tell it?
No, I
you
mean-
I just I remember we were like it was in sixth grade. We were
yeah, we
doing
were-
like the tour of our where we were going
Of
for
middle school,
Middle school, yeah.
Because I was coming from private school and I didn't go
Yeah.
elementary school in Warwick.
Yeah.
So they told me I could do my tour with Wyman,
Yep.
and so
I'm the head custodian at that school now.
at Wyman.
Fun fact, yes.
And my nephew loves him.
I love when he's not getting in trouble at school. Definitely not trying to RKO somebody.
Yeah, we heard he was telling us about that at this past weekend.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. About how he was like fighting a kid. Well, the kid was just picking on him, so he just he retaliated. Good for him.
No, this is
That's what he was telling. That's
two
what. That's
different situations.
all right. Oh, this is a different one.
He
All
was
right.
just horsing around in the gym.
Oh god.
No, he didn't get in real trouble. He's
Oh, no,
like
either, yeah.
sent to the back of the line. or
Just a
something.
troublemaker.
Back of the line.
Yeah.
My boy.
Just a young whippersnapper.
But yeah, I remember walking in to the cafeteria of this Aldridge and just see a Jorge Posada jersey, like a kid just chilling, sitting by himself. So we're like, oh, let's go sit with him. And then we like toured, and then it's the first time we became kind of friendly with one another. It was cool. It was Jorge Posada.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jorge.
Dude, that was my
Good
guy.
for
Dude.
Jorge.
That was my guy. He
Honestly,
Hated
like-
Pedro's mom.
CP20.
He did.
dude. Yeah. Honestly,
Honestly, I liked Jorge Posada. He was just a fun. Like I thought he was. a
because
good
I
player to
was a
watch.
catcher in
If he punched me, I would've-
little league and stuff. So like, he was just immediately like my favorite player, favorite position of my favorite team. So it was-
Posada was nasty.
well, and that helped. That helped,
Yeah.
And he's switch hitter, dude. He was
Yeah.
just such a stud.
No gloves.
He's literally
Yeah, dude. Bare
He's
knuckle.
Like, he's what I wanted Jason Veritek to be. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
A guy who's like I love Jason Veritek. He's awesome, but like he wasn't a guy who go out there and just knock the ball around. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Jorge Posada was like a great hitter. Like
Yeah.
if he wasn't a catcher, he probably would have been a better hitter.
Yeah, for
'Cause,
sure.
Someone like Joe Mauer, like somebody who the position kind of diminished them
Mm.
from being
Right.
better.
Right.
Buster Posey.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there you go.
Dude, stud.
Stuff for real.
Both of those guys.
Him and
studs.
Bernie Williams, those were like my two favorite.
Oh,
Yankees.
Bernie, dude. Bernie.
Bernie,
switch
Bernie,
hitter.
yeah,
Dude,
dude.
another
That
switch hitter.
stance.
Yeah,
For real.
another
And he's
switch
also
hitter.
What a
a
G, dude.
great guitarist. You guys, he plays great guitar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know about him. Other
Yeah,
than
I was
he
gonna
plays the
say.
Yankees.
Yeah. Played like the national anthem or
Yeah,
something.
something like that.
at one of
Like,
the games.
Just like Jimi Hendrix did it, right?
yeah, you did that the whole thing.
Guitar.
You wore the afro
on
and
fire.
everything.
Sick, dude.
Dude, it was sick.
What a legend.
Bernie Hendricks, he was great.
Hendrix.
Hendricks, dude.
No, but I don't know. Like, is it okay if I?
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, go.
Okay, so, so actually, fun fact for you guys: my first ever MLB baseball game was a Yankees Red Sox game at Old Yankee Stadium on July 4th, 2008, and I was looking up the lineup from that day.
Yep.
Josh Beckett pitched, Manny, Ortiz, Pedroia, Euclid. Like, you guys had
Dude, our
a
stacked
loaded
team.
squad.
lineup.
You know, all cornerstone guys.
Yep.
And then we had A-Rod, we had Giambi, we had Matsui, we had
Jumbo.
Jeter, we had Damon.
Jumbo.
which-
Oh yeah.
that's when Damon was still solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damon was never bad.
No, yeah,
Like,
no.
you're thinking of Jacoby Ellsbury.
Yeah.
Well,
Jacoby
no, I
Ellsbury,
know
that's different.
Jacoby Ellsbury. He was like the Bambino curse, the curse of the Bambino, like to us,
The
dude.
curse of the Jacoby.
Dude, yeah, he was bad for us.
I
But,
wouldn't
Really
call
bad.
it
But no, but
no.
I don't know.
No, but
Yeah,
he was
you're not
really
wrong.
bad.
I mean,
He
Damon
didn't
was
get the
never
best
bad.
player
He just
ever
got
for the
old
washing
eventually.
machine or
Whatever. But yeah, we actually lost that game 6-4. But it was crazy. That was my first ever Yankees Red Sox game and first ever MLB game, first time in New York, and it was like the coolest thing ever, you know. And that's when the rivalry was alive. I remember we sat by the Red Sox bullpen and watching Papelbon warm up in his tight little butthole mouth, and you know what I mean. But he was like chirping at fans because fans were chirping at him, and it was
Yep.
like it was alive.
Yeah,
then, you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like
intense.
the rivalry was a living, breathing thing,
Yeah.
and then
Now it doesn't matter.
now it doesn't. And then
There's two baseball teams.
fast forward though, I went to Red Sox Yankees game at Fenway on April 11th, 2018. That was the day that Tyler Austin charged Joe Kelly.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Dude, the place was electric.
That was like going to a
It
UFC
was
fight.
electric, man, and it was exciting to see that like take place on the field. But then you start looking around the stadium. There was like pockets of fights. Like you know how you go to the stadium, you see the wave happen, you can see the crowd jostling and
Yeah.
whatever. No, you're literally watching like little mosh pits happening all across the stadium because there were fights going on. Like fans were fighting Red Sox fans,
Dude.
and it was awesome. And I'm just like looking around, and I'm like, oh, it's back, you know.
Yeah.
And
then
it's sorely mistaken. It's
Yeah.
it's just not. And I feel like
Much like the Red Sox momentum.
it's a fucking shame.
just fell apart.
It's a shame, and who knows? I don't know that it'll ever be again, because like even if the Red Sox and the Yankees both could have those cornerstone players and both be really good and clash in the playoffs every single year, like would the fans these days still care? To
I
the
do.
level or degree?
I
The
think-
fans would. I
yeah.
just don't think the team's ownerships care that much anymore. You know,
That's the missing part,
Steinbrenner,
you know?
George Steinbrenner wanted to win.
No,
Like
I know.
his
Trust
goal
me.
was
No, I
to
get it.
win.
I get it.
And that's what made the Red Sox, you know, they hadn't won in 80 years, and they wanted to beat them. And the Yankees had beat them for so long because George, every single year, didn't care how much money it took. He was going out and buying players. And when he passed away, the whole Yankee culture changed.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Like, his kids don't care in the same way he
No,
did.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, look at
It's a
Hal.
business to them.
John Henry
Hal
doesn't
is
care
like,
like he
yeah,
used
all
to.
right, you guys can
So?
grow beards.
Yeah.
As much as like, because I have a beard, I hate shaving, but that
George
was
is
like,
rolling over.
that was part of the
Right.
cool thing about the Yankees.
George
that
loves
they-
spicy
about
chicken.
that pedigree.
Devin
That
doesn't
it
look
was
proper.
like
Right.
that's
Right,
part
things
of
are
it.
changing
Like, there's
now.
Yeah.
a level to like how we run this ship.
Right, yeah, no. I
Like
mean, the
the
Yankees are the
police-
Yankees.
The police, the military, the Yankees.
Yeah.
You can have a tight mustache. That's about it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that was cool, but now that's gone too, and it's. So you're not wrong about that.
Yeah, that's what made everything, you know, George was going out and signing. The Red Sox wanted to win, so who did they have to out-sign? Their rival. That was the team that was signing everybody. So they had to make sure they didn't get them, and they got them instead. And now it's just like the Dodgers sign everybody.
Yep.
You know, every other team is just kind of collecting their cash. I mean, the Red Sox, I was reading, are like the fourth, like on average of any stadium in baseball, you're gonna spend the
Yeah, it's
fourth most
expensive.
money at Fenway Park of any team in baseball, and it's like we're a middling ball club. The ownership doesn't seem like they care. Like it's not what you would think a top 4 ball club is. It's just not.
I'm actually
The atmosphere's
I'm
not.
pretty sure I
No.
saw like the same thing or very similar, but it was basically like a graph of like what each like typical meal.
Yeah.
A beer, a dog, and some popcorn or something, or some Cracker Jacks type deal. The Red Sox were more expensive than the Yankees.
Yeah, it's
Which
wild.
is like crazy.
It's
'cause
wild.
It's
If
insane.
you go to New York, like it's more expensive than. I mean, Boston's not cheap, but
Yeah.
But yeah.
it's not. As
No,
expensive
New York's
as New York.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be able to go in and get like a cheaper beer, a cheaper dog at Yankee Stadium is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
It's
Fenway
wild.
Park, like I
It's
get
really like a
its
museum.
lore, I get its history, but it's not the.
Yeah, you're not exactly.
That's what
nicest
that's what they harp on
stadium anymore.
nowadays.
Yeah.
They harp on the stadium being so historic
Yeah,
and
it's
not
really,
the
like I
team
said,
being
it's really like a
good.
museum. You know, it's
Yeah.
like and yeah, like you guys were saying, like it's very historical and stuff like that. But it's like I don't
Not
know.
comfortable.
Yeah, it's not extremely comfortable. Also, like I wouldn't mind spending that money if I'm able to watch a good baseball team.
For real.
Yeah.
So like I mean, when you said that you don't know if the vibe or like the rivalry ever will come back, I mean, all it takes I think from a fan's perspective, because I mean, they just want both teams to spend money, and then they want them to duke it out during the regular season, and they want some like.
If we were having
fire.
like
Even last year, that game that was on Sunday Night Baseball when the Red Sox made that comeback on Yoshida game tying home run, and then Rafael took the lead in the 10th.
Mhm.
Like that game was
intense.
intense and fun. Like that was the most fun I've had watching a Red Sox Yankee game in years, and that wasn't because like like if you can do that with like a team that didn't spend that much money, where you're just putting on good games, and two teams that looked like, because at the time the Sox were good and the Yankees were good, they were battling out. It looked like, wow, okay, this is a 2-team division again, and then it just died off.
Do you want to know what would really kick the rivalry? Is if like we had multiple years where the Red Sox and the Yankees were fighting each other in September for first
That's what I'm
place,
saying.
Yeah.
and they had each team ended off with like 95 wins and 93 wins.
Yeah.
Like that's what would get the rivalry going again.
I feel like
is
the Dodgers and the Giants have had that in like.
Yeah, and the
recent-
Padres tried.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
tried.
Like,
Yeah.
Padres tried to have it, but like they
This year
you know,
it's doing pretty well for the Padres
Yeah.
and Dodgers.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, well, Tatis is healthy.
Well, yeah.
yeah, the
He's
Giants are
Batting
good,
over
the Padres are
Mendoza
good,
line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. And the Padres probably gonna get Jaron Duran, so that's cool.
and the Giants are good too.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
like
Yeah, that's why like
That's a good division.
that's a
Yeah.
very that's
And
a good
you got to look at Arizona's been taking themselves way more seriously lately.
Yeah.
Like they go to the World Series, they're spending money. They got
They got Burns.
They got a
Burns
good
is pretty
lineup.
right?
but it
Burns.
says
He just felt a pop in his elbow
Oh,
on Saturday,
Jesus.
so that might not be good.
the one thing though is, I mean, it's also that Dodgers effect. The Dodgers start going out and spending money. The other teams in the division say, if we need to We
Right.
need to compete with this team.
Right.
They go
Well,
out
then
and
you
start
got-
signing players. Like they're trying to make moves. You know, the
Yeah.
Giants went out and signed what's his name, Jung
Oh,
Lee or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he was a nasty Korean baseball player. Like, they're trying to, you know, they went out and got Verlander at the end of his career. Like, they're trying to make small moves.
No, they're
that
trying to make
just,
big moves, but they're
like-
striking out. Like
Yeah.
they made a big offer on Aaron Judge last
Well,
year,
yeah,
you
I
know
mean,
what
they tried to get Juan Soto,
tried to
too.
do it, right. So they're in on a lot of these big guys, but they're losing those, and then they're still putting together a decent ball
team.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, they got to compete with the Dodgers. Like, they have to put out a good team if they want to be competitive.
Right.
That
I
division.
mean, then you got the Rockies who just go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're having
just
the
You're
worst
the best of the best,
they're
and
like
the worst of the
whatever.
worst in that one
Hey, let's
division.
just throw the bag at Chris Bryant, so he'll never play either, and then we just have a bunch of guys who
Chris Bryant.
we'll
Ryan,
call up.
my God.
Dude, you know, he's
another
getting
example
paid
of
so
James
much
Senior
money
not being good.
to not play.
And not even,
Another
not even
Anthony
doing anything.
Rendon, dude.
Yeah.
Except he's not a miserable prick, I don't think.
Well, yeah, he seems like a cool guy.
I think so.
Yeah, Randy,
I'd have a beer with him, I think.
Yeah, Tony Rendon. I don't know about that guy.
Not in my union.
Is there anybody else that you wanted to get to? I mean, we didn't really talk any Red Sox players.
I
but-
think the
Yeah.
I think the rivalry would still be better if we also kept Mookie.
Yeah, I agree. Because there is.
We just
there's
have a
your
better
cornerstone
team.
Yeah.
Guy.
Well,
That's
not even-
Mookie
well,
versus
That's
Judge.
what I mean.
Yeah, like
The
the,
way
two,
it
the
was-
two cornerstones.
The
like
way
you're
it
talking
was
about, yeah.
like
And it was cool
A-Rod
that,
versus Ortiz,
Yeah.
or
to have such different
Jeter
like,
versus
Nomar,
Nomar.
like that kind of.
Yeah,
you
right,
have,
yeah,
like,
the
this giant who's also
6'7" and
5'8",
5'8".
who's just as nasty.
Yeah.
Like, all right, word, and it's like cool, and it's like somebody like, oh, Mookie's better, and like as a ball player, yeah, but like,
Yeah.
not as a hitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like stuff like that, and yeah, like you're saying, just we suck. So
Yeah.
it's not exciting.
No,
Yeah, I
exactly.
think, like, obviously, I think Devers is an excellent player, and easily could be the best player on your team. But I think if you were to bring in a guy that makes Bregman, your third best player, Devers your first or second best player, another
Yeah,
guy
like-
like that, then it's kind of like,
Yeah. Also, fun personalities. I feel like the
well,
Red Sox
dude,
team is not any
I
fun
really like
personalities.
Jazz Chisholm on the.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I
I
All
was-
right, that fits you guys.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it doesn't.
Chaz.
It does, but it doesn't.
It changes the
Like,
culture.
he-
yeah, I mean, like, I
He's
feel like
completely different than.
Yeah, but-
because the Yankees are so prim and proper. They're
He's
like,
fun.
exactly.
Yeah,
You need those
He's
type of
different.
guys in the
And
locker
I feel like
room.
Yeah,
we
the
haven't
last-
had a guy like
yeah.
that in a long time because we're so like we're the Bronx
You-
Bombers. We just
yeah.
hit home runs. Like I remember it was like they were trying to serve us Luke Voigt and Giancarlo and Judge, and it was just like and Anthony Rizzo, and it was like
All
these home
serious
runs,
guys.
Yeah.
all these home runs, all serious guys. Nobody's having fun. It's just like
Yeah.
we're striking out, and even DJ LeMahieu, he had that year, but he's so serious. He's just like stone.
he's generic
like,
baseball player. Temp
like,
Look at
97.
04, Kevin Millar, and
Luke Voigt. That's both
just
Yankees.
no personality, and then
2013 Johnny Gomes.
Yeah, Johnny
Like
Gomes,
you
yeah.
had guys that are just
Yeah.
they're just different. Their personality is just different than everybody else. Like,
Yeah.
when you're having a down day, they pick you up.
It's contagious.
like,
it's
yeah.
spunky.
Yeah,
It's fun
yeah.
to have around.
They don't
and
let
I
you
like-
get in a bad mood.
I like Jazz's style of play. Like we don't steal enough bases. Like we're again, it's just home runs.
I know you guys are home
you know
run
what I mean?
hitters.
It's like-
That's it.
So I love the fact that Volpe is a base stealer. I love the fact that Jazz is a base stealer. I like to see Aaron Judge like snagging a few bags. You know, I think he's up to like 7. I know, I get it. Like you don't want to see that guy.
We don't need.
I want.
You don't need.
I
him
just
in,
want to see. I want,
um,
dude, you wouldn't.
yeah.
You don't say that about Shohei. You appreciate that about his game.
No, I don't think so either. Like, I don't think he should be doing it either. I mean, I get last year, but like, the dude's gonna be looking to pitch. One bad
I feel like
slide
they
into
should
second
use him as a
base, he could
closer.
Steven Wright it and blow out his arm.
I
And
feel like they
next
should
thing
use
you know,
him
he
as
can't
a
pitch.
closer.
Best pinch runner in baseball, though.
Who, Shohei?
Yeah, instead of a starter.
That'd be kind of nasty. Let him
I
come in
mean,
for one inning and just
Like
blow
just you're
everyone
just
away.
like you're blowing the other team up and then you come mow them down.
Yeah, just
Like that's
gone.
kind of beast, dude. And you're only pitching every few days. Like it's not a lot on his
Yeah.
arm. I don't know. I feel like he could be the best closer in baseball if he did that.
You're actually because the slider's nasty and his fastball.
Like he's just
so.
You
he
just
doesn't
need him to
have
get
pitch.
3 guys out.
Yeah, like
That's my
literally.
point.
that
You know,
three
he could
guys.
be so nasty.
Dude.
And the Dodgers have spent enough money on all these starters, and they've shown that they're not afraid to go spend more.
He could be the first 50-50-50 guy. 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases, 50 saves.
saves.
Holy shit!
Do you imagine that?
100 strikeouts.
He'd have more than that.
Oh,
50,
dude,
if he had 50 saves, he'd have more than that.
I would buy
the
that
Dodgers
Tops
are too
Now
good of a
card.
team to be in a situation where they need 50 saves from a closer.
That's
Yeah,
true,
no,
That
yeah.
is true.
They blow out
Yeah.
teams too much.
Yeah.
Score too many runs.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But yeah, that pizza is calling my name.
Yeah, I'm very
So
hungry.
Should we
we're-
put it in the oven?
We could. I'm definitely
Just, like,
gonna microwave
zap
my
it?
slices or something. Oh, we could do that.
Yeah.
This is
I
a
don't
good
know,
part
it's
for
just
the,
an
this is
idea.
good for the podcast.
We don't have
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Our pizza talk.
We'll see you soon.
Here comes the pizza.
Thanks for having me.
Oh shit. Wait, it's still recording. You're welcome. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it.
thank you
This
for
was
coming.
Great having you.
Yeah, man.
This was fun. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, please come back soon. You're
Definitely.
You're no Zach Kelly or Zach Wheeler, whatever. the hell.
Yeah.
You can
What?
come.
You're
It's
it's
Wheeler.
Zach Kelly. He's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
invited to the
yeah,
podcast.
We've invited uninvited Zach Kelly. I think every episode so far.
Yeah, if you're listening, remember that.
Yeah, you're not invited.